This has got to be my favorite feature in Yardbook.
Hey guys, Chuck B here, and today I'm going to back this up and look at this real quick. You're going to hear me drinking some coffee, or see me drinking some coffee, whichever way I've got things going on, because we're going to do some screen recording today. This is probably my favorite option in Yardbook. I like to use it to help run my company. I find this program really helpful. I do buy the middle tier plan, so I don't do the free one or the most expensive. I'm right there in the middle. I think it's $35 a month. This is not sponsored by Yardbook. This is just me telling you this is probably my favorite option in Yardbook that helps me getting my cash flow coming in and keeps me on track of staying on track of my customers. So anyway, guys, enough babble about that. If you do hear my phone ring, I will have to pause it. I'm waiting on an important phone call with a repair I need on the house, so I may have to stop and answer that phone call. That being said, that's out of the way. Announcements are out of the way. All right, here we are. We're at the site map for you guys that do not use Yardbook or have never looked at it before. This is just your site map. Shows all your options, things you can look at, you know, your customers, your company, extras. And we're over here in the extras today, and we're going to look at auto reminders. Auto reminders are probably my favorite thing because I get so busy sometimes I forget who owes me money, and with this set up I don't have to. Most of my customers, I only have a few that pay by check. Most of them, everybody's invoiced through email, and they pay online, or they'll send a bank check from that email. So to me, that's still online. Excuse me. So you go here, you click on your automatic invoice reminders, and this is where you're going to set up the rules on how the system is going to, how many days, when they're going to send this out, and why they're going to send this out. And you can change the wording for anything. This is the actual one I use. This is the days I actually send it out. This is, we're looking at my account. So So I invoice on the last service day of each month. So if you're a Tuesday Mo, on that last Tuesday of the month, you'll get your invoice. And you can always see who opens their invoices in Yardbook. You can look at their account. You can see when the invoice was sent. You can click it, see if they've opened it. So all that out of the way, we're going to look at the auto reminders today. So mine's set up. The first reminder they're going to get is 12 days after I've sent the invoice. And the reason I do that, even though it's due upon receipt, I know people get paid, you know, some people get paid every other Friday, some are every Friday. So, you know, hey, I can float a week. It's not shutting any doors. So at 12 days they get this, and down here in the email body, you know, you have the subject, the title, you know, just the invoice payment reminder. Here you can change this after, if you wanted to send before an invoice was due, hey, you know, I don't know, you're going to be getting an invoice here in the next couple days. I just wanted to make contact and make sure our email systems were, I don't know. I've never used the before, but that's what that would be. And of course, I have mine set at 12 days, but you can change that to anything you want. You can see down below I have some other days set up. So the first email reminder they're going to get, you got the email body. It says Dear, and customer names in brackets. And the reason for the brackets is Yardbook, the system, will actually pull on your calendar, and it'll see who hasn't paid because the Stripe system's connected with your Yardbook. So when they make a payment, they can see that. Now, if they're paying by check, you have to manually go in and mark that they've paid their bill, or they'll get these reminders anyway. And I have forgotten and done that. I try to, when I come home from checking my mail or whatever, I lay the checks on my desk so they're in my face, and I know I need to go in and mark them as paid. So that being said, so it autofills this. Here is the verbiage on the first reminder. Here's a friendly reminder, automated reminder from our invoice system that we're coming up on 14 days for your overdue payment. Your next service will be skipped until payment arrangements can be made. Then invoice access, that's in brackets. It'll autofill what invoice is attached to that customer. Can you please let us know when we can expect the payment? Best regards, company names in brackets. It just autofills that in so I don't have to type it. And that just shoots out at that 12-day notice. And I do, if they don't pay it, if I go in and look, so at 12 days, if they were a Tuesday mow, that 12 days means they're going to get an email on the Sunday before they're 2 weeks late. And I'll go in on that Monday evening and I'll look at my reminders and I'll see what reminders were sent. And if they were sent, I'll click it to see if they've looked at if they have looked at the reminder, then I know absolutely, hey, they're screwing around with me. They're not responding. Sometimes they have a valid reason for not paying. Like, hey, whatever. Something broke. They had to cover an emergency. But if they don't communicate that to me, I skip them. If they communicate with me, I am more than happy to work with payments. It's not a big deal. I've had to do it before. I don't care. I'll do it. Just I need communication. I communicate with my customers. I expect my customers to communicate with me. So anyway, that out of the way. That's how that number one works. Number two, they get another one at 20 days. And it's all, as far as the setup and brackets, that's all exactly the same. Some of the wording has changed. You can read that here. We changed it to 21 days. It's lets them know that the phone. That's good. Now that's out of the way, and I can just ignore the phone from now on. So now that that's out of the way, and my plumber is scheduled. So where was that? Okay, so 21. This one on the 20-day invoice reminder. As you'll notice right here, the account is now suspended until the invoice can be paid, and a credit card will be needed on file to continue service. Now, I know a lot of guys demand a credit card on file to begin service. I don't do that. I'm more than happy to email them an invoice and let them pay it at the end of the month. I don't need I do have some customers that find it more convenient to have their credit card on file, and I can do that, and that's fine. Once they've hit that 20-day thing, they have to have a credit card on file at that point. Then I do, I'm like, hey, I can't float you for a month. You're getting a month behind. That's just, I need a credit card. And usually they'll do it, or they'll just say, hey, I can't do that, and they'll pay their invoice and move on, and be like, all right, well, I can't service you anymore. And it's fine. I've only had it one time get to that point to where I've had to say, you do this or I'm gone. And unfortunately, I had to go because they refused to put a credit card on file. So they had to find another lawn service. It's fine. I rarely, like I said, I have one time I've had to get to that point. Usually after they get this first one right here, they'll contact me in some way, especially after they get skipped. The skip is usually what the email doesn't bring them in. It's when I skip them. That'll bring them in before they get to number 2, and then we work it out, and everything's been fine after that. The one that was the number 2, I should step back. I did have one get to the number 3, actually just recently. So this is the first time we've got to number 3. And so everything as far as brackets and everything, it's in a month late. So, and got to remember, when this 30-day one goes out, I've already skipped them. And if the 20-day has went out, they've already been suspended. So it's not like I've been mowing them for 2 months. They've just been on my books for 2 months. So here it lets them know that the 30 days overdue. If payment arrangements, sorry about that, are not made, further collection actions will be taken, which could lead to an increased cost to you. And this is where you bring in your collections company. We'll talk about how that works later on down the road, with how to pick your company and what the fees are. And there are fees, but hey, fees don't really. Real quick, fees will come out of what they owe you. Something's better than nothing, right? So that's all I'm going to say about that. By this time, they've already been canceled. They know this. The one I just recently had this year go to this point paid their bill last month, and obviously we've parted ways. They've cleared their account, and there's nothing that needs to be done. So anyway, guys, real quick, that's all I wanted to show. Was this is how my rules are set up and how it works, on how that's sent out. And I don't know. We're going to try this. I'm going to have to fuzzy a lot of this stuff out because there's no point in having people's names up on this reminder thing. So here's the reminders page. And right here you can see how I actually do have one getting ready to hit the 20 days. So I'll have to fuzzy out his name. But you have the customer name, the invoice number, the reminder rule. So it shows me right now where they're getting ready to hit. And it says send email reminder 20 days. So I know this is number 2. It's going to go live on the 19th. Today's the 17th. And it shows that it's scheduled. So that's the pending. That's what I have coming up. So I do have one right now getting ready to hit 20 days. Now I already know this one's going to be a little bit of an issue. Luckily, this is a really low invoice. I mean, there's only one mo on this invoice. So it's fine. I'm not stressing. Here you can show, this stuff will show up if you click the canceled tab. These aren't all the people that got them. It'll show you like when they were going to get them. Like here's all the people that were getting ready to get their 12-day invoice. Like I said, it's happened. This one gets loaded up quite a bit. But if you look over on the right, it'll say canceled invoice paid. So that means they paid their invoice before this sent out. Then you'll see some that just say canceled. That means these are usually ones that have paid by check. And I've went in and entered payment, so it shows that the reminder was canceled before it went out. And that's all this is. This just gives you a little history, and so this is not a page to stress out about at all. Sent, if you want to see, and this is, I'll look at this one quite a bit. So here we can look at them. We're going to look at this very first customer here. So it shows that that was a 12-day one, and it was actually sent. So you go into the customer. I want to look at the invoice due, so I can edit all that stuff out. So here's your customer name. You know it was sent and when it was sent. The reminder rule is 12-day, so we know that was the first reminder. You go into the invoice. And then you can come down here and you see when invoice. So we know the first one was sent. It was sent on the 31st. And it was opened. And this is just, and this isn't a reminder. This is the actual invoice. This is when the invoice was sent. So here's your invoice for the month of August. Please contact me if you have any questions. You can see they opened the invoice. I always look at this one first, because if they haven't opened the invoice, maybe something's going on. Maybe it went to their spam folder. Maybe they're out of town. Maybe something's, going on with them. And I try to reach out. I'll either give them a call or send them an email from my Gmail account rather than through Yardbook, and maybe that'll, if it's a spam issue, they'll get the other email. And then if that's what the issue is, then we've resolved it. So you can see here that another one was sent on the 12th, which that was the rule number 1. And then you click on it, and here you see how it looks to them. Here's the reminder, 14 days, blah, blah, blah. Here's the link to their invoice. This is exactly how it looks, and you can see it was delivered at 7 a.m. and they opened it at 5 p.m. So now I know, and they got this on a Wednesday because this account is a Friday account. You'd be like, all right, well, they opened it on Thursday. It was sent on Wednesday. They opened it on Thursday. I know that if it's not paid by Friday morning, they're skipped. And this one was. So, and this account, just since I have it open, always pays it the day they're going to get skipped. I don't know why. It must be the way because she is a Friday account. So maybe it's just the way it is. They wake up on Friday, they pay it because their paycheck has went in or whatever. anyway, they pay it before I get there or before I leave the house. So that's how that works. And that is it. We'll go back to the site map. And there we go, guys. That is the auto reminder rule for Yardbook. Like I said, that's probably my favorite option to use on Yardbook. It just really helps with cash flow when you get going, especially in the heat of the season, when you don't know what day it is, you don't know what's going on. This just auto reminders just makes the world easier for me. And like I said, I don't know. Let's look at real quick. Sorry, I'm getting itchy for some reason. I want to look in, and I don't know where we. Oh, okay. We'll go into billing here and see if I can find this really quick. So see here, I'm on a business plan, and when I very first signed up for them, you can see I've been with Yardbook for 2 years now. So I mean, it's I like Yardbook. And what I'm trying, other plans right there. We want this button right here. So here's the different plans for. It's called Enterprise is the top one. So what we're looking for is auto reminders, and I don't know what they call it. So bear with me as we look down this. Maybe email tracking. I like a lot. Automatic invoice reminders. So it is not available on the free option. It is only on the business and enterprise model. And I was right. I pay $34.99 a month. So see, the difference between the middle and the top one are only these last two, the QuickBooks Sync and the branded application. I'll probably start using it. I don't know what the branded application is. I'll have to send them an email at some point and see what that is to see if it's something that's worth it for another, $15 a month. Oh, excuse me. The QuickBooks Sync would save me some time. Well, actually it doesn't, because I don't use Yardbook to track expenses. I enter everything into QuickBooks since that's what my accountant uses, but probably starting next year, depending on what this branded application is, I may just start using everything in Yardbook. That way I just have one program, and then I can sync it to my QuickBook and send that off to my accountant. So anyway, enough about that. So sorry guys, use the free one. The automatic invoice reminder looks like is not available on the free model. So I wasn't sure about that. But like I said, that is definitely one of my favorites about Yardbook, and I hope that helped. I know I probably wrestled my way through that, especially since I was waiting on a phone call, and that was in the back of my mind because I'm having a plumbing issue. Anyway, guys, there we go. Set up payment reminders, all reminders, automatic payment reminders, whatever you want to call it, through Yardbook. Probably definitely one of my favorites, if not my favorite option in the Yardbook plan. So guys, thanks for watching. Keep coming back. Subscribe. Please leave comments. Let me know what you want to see, whether it's about Yardbook, what options. Maybe you're using the free one and you want to know some more stuff about what's going on with the other ones that you don't have access to, but instead of buying it and trying it out, you want to get some thoughts on it first and show you how I use it or something. Leave that in the comments. Let me know some options you're looking at, because we're going to start doing more of this Yardbook stuff. We're coming up on the end of the season. It's time to get into the office and really do some business and numbers and work like that. So anyway, guys, there we go. I know I've been asked about Yardbook in general a couple of times. So here's my first Yardbook one I've done in a while. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep making money. Don't go to sleep just because we're at the end of the mowing season. Keep doing what you can do to make money, guys. There's a lot of options out there, so we can keep making money through the winter. And we'll be talking about that soon, too. So anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great week, guys. Later.
Yeah, we are in the place to be. Yeah, 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 yeah.